Construction fails when projects fail. In this video, I'm going to talk to you exactly about how you can tank your construction project and for the purpose of not doing it, okay? And I'm going to tell you why it happens. So we're going to do this with a little bit of fun, a little bit of humor. Most of these are lists. So I hope if you're driving, why are you driving while listening to YouTube? Like, come on, like be safe. But if you are like anywhere where you can take notes, grab a piece of paper and a pen because you're going to want to know if any of these things are affecting your project. So let's start one by one. How to tank your project. Number one, not having a master builder. Here's what I mean by this. If you don't have a builder, superintendent, or PM that have experience and know what they're doing as a builder, you will tank your project. So that's number one. This is not a learn as you earn type scenario. You can't just go take people that don't have experience and no experimentation, right? That don't understand the processes of how to run a good project and expect them to go run a good project. It's just not a thing. Number two, not having a cohesive team. I can tell you, I brag all the time, not brag. I explain all the time how the projects that I've been on have always been successful. Well, the truth is I got the experience, I got the training, I was selfish, I took the time to plan, and I was able to rally a loyal and cohesive team. You've got to have a cohesive team. There's a story about Frank Crow who built the Hoover Dam. He was the nation's leading dam builder and he had a loyal, knowledgeable, and cohesive team. If you want to take your project, make sure that you don't have a cohesive team. Number three, if you absolutely just want to tank, like crash land, like dumpster fire inside of a burning building, inside of a nuclear blast, inside of a solar flare, like dumpster fire, garbage, horrible, tank your project, then do not take a third of the time to plan it. Meaning if your project is 2/3, do not take a third of the overall duration to plan it. If you really, really want to tank your project, do not plan that. Because what you'll want to do if you want to tank it, if you want to do badly, you'll want to not find your problems in pre-con and you'll want to find them in the field when it costs you 10 times the amount, when you reduce morale and when you're making people mad and when you have to stop and restart. That will ensure that your project extends and that you spend an exorbitant amount of money and that you spiral out of control. So if you want to really tank your project, make sure you don't plan it. Number four, if you really want to fail, do not look for risks. Do not in pre-construction look for your biggest risks, your black swans. Do not anchor to past projects and do not evaluate that and try to get rid of your risks. What you want to do if you really want to fail is you'll really want to just find those randomly in the course of construction and then throw up your hands to the owner and say, I don't know what to do, and ask for more money and more time. That is a surefire way to really fail this thing. Number five, I've already mentioned it. If you want to really fail at your project, make sure that you don't anchor. So I remember this is a real story, by the way. There was a general superintendent where there was this site and they had unsuitable soils, they had a river problem, all of their ponds filled up, they couldn't install their storm drain, the soil wasn't good, it took like twice the amount of time to do the excavations, the owner changed everything, and I swear to you, the lot that was built before where they lost money and had a horrible project, they were going to do another project on an adjacent lot with the same owner, and I swear to you, the general superintendent said, oh, I don't think we should have any problem. We shouldn't have any problem with water or unsuitables or anything like that. And I'm like, what? Oh my God. Oh, I know what you're doing. You're trying to tank the project. So do not anchor, meaning like find representative examples of projects and find out what they experience and do not learn from that and adjust your durations over here. Because if you do, you'll win. And obviously this video isn't about winning, this is about tanking your project. So if you want to tank your project, do not anchor to historical data. Oh, and I got another one real quick. If you want to tank your career, and if you really want to remain ignorant to construction, do not subscribe to videos and channels like this. Like, you don't want this information. Why would you want this information to benefit your career? Why would you want to make more money? Why would you want to get home to your family on time? Like, you don't. So do not subscribe to this channel. Number six, do not focus on building the team. If you really want to fail, I'm just going to give you some good advice. Look at your people like they're objects. Look at them like they're numbers. Don't get to know them. Don't care about their health. That's their problem. Like, forget those guys and gals, right? If you really want to take your project, what you're going to want to do is focus on the project and production. Don't spend any time building the team. They don't need your help. We're not here to make friends, right? So like, if you really want to fail, look at your people as objects and do not build that team. Do not do teaming events. Do not take care of people. Don't get to know them. Don't understand their personalities. Don't like train them. Do not train them. If you want to like tank the project, just expect them to know everything, expect them to figure everything out, and just throw them out on something without any good instructions or clarity or clarification, and see how they do. That is probably the best way to tank this thing, and obviously that's what this video is about. Number 7, if you want to fail, do not find your Lego. Don't find any repetition in the project. Don't find any areas where we can tack through it and do zones. Don't find any opportunities to prefabricate, right? You can just give somebody the excuse, oh, it's a complex building. You don't know what you're talking about. There's so many architectural features. There's no repetition. We might as well just treat every activity like it's the first one we've ever done. Do not learn. Do not have any repetition. Don't find your Lego. Don't prefabricate, because that is one of the fastest ways where you can make sure that everything takes as long as possible. Number 8, don't make friends as you go. Like, if you want to take your project, you probably should piss off the inspectors. You should probably piss off the owner, the designers, of course. Like, we should badmouth them and like get into conflict, and make sure that you're like adversarial with everybody, right? Don't make friends. You don't need friends. This is work, right? So if you want to take your project, do not make friends as you go. Number 9, don't use the right systems. Just go ahead and keep believing that CPM is awesome, even though 76% of CPM projects historically fail, and only about 15 at the worst, well, actually 0 is the worst, but to 45% of CPM activities actually happen as planned, right? Don't take the industry data. Don't take historical facts into account. Don't listen to Jason and Elevate and Lean Tact and industry lean experts telling you that Tact, Last Planner, and Scrum are the way. Just use your traditional CPM schedules. Have the owner ram that down your throat. Don't get your time extensions. Don't get your time impact analysis approved. Don't don't have any buffers in your schedule. You won't need buffers. Everything's going to go fine, right? And everything's going to work out. Like, all of the additional paperwork and analysis and forensic analysis and the court cases you're going to get into, that's probably what you should be doing anyway, right? Because you get paid, so why not? So if you want to tank your project, use horrible scheduling systems, contracting methods, and adversarial relationships that are common with classical management. And number 10, if you really want to fail, think that you know it all, that you don't need help. Make sure that you keep believing that you don't need consultants, you don't need training, you don't need help, you don't need fresh eyes meetings, you don't need help from corporate. They're like, what? Why? Like, don't walk my job, right? Do not get help, right? If you really want to fail, do it by yourself, and you will fail just fine. You don't need anybody else's help to do that. And number 11, when people ask you to do stupid things, don't say no. Just do what they tell you, right? Because even though they're going to tell you to do something stupid, right? Like whether it's an owner, a designer, or corporate or whatever, they tell you to do something that's counterproductive to production or hurts people. Even though you know they're not going to fess up to it later or be accountable, you should just do it anyway. Just go ahead and do it and take the blame. It's not a big deal. So don't learn to say no. If you really want to fail, don't learn to say no. So that's my list. I hope you had some fun with that. That's the how-to for how to fail a project. So I hope that comes in handy. But I would actually like to talk about some things that we can do as an industry to stop failing at projects. I call this the contract with the construction industry. If I could make a deal and actually counteract that first part of the video, which was supposed to be a bit fun, and actually do it right, these are the things that I would do. Number 1, if you want to do well, owners should start mandating IPD delivery systems, integrated project delivery. Number 2, as an industry, we should reduce the amount of design, bid, build contracts that just push you right into starting the project right away without planning. Number 3, if we as an industry want to stop tanking projects, we will continually recruit and hire and train new people and develop them, whether we think we need it or not. Number 4, as an industry, if we want to get better, we will stop agreeing to bad schedule durations and to bad schedules. We will start looking at it in macro level TAC plans, norm level TAC plans. We will engage the last planner system and Scrum, and we'll start using right systems. Number 5, if everybody would start using procurement logs the right way with the right points of release and with material inventory buffers that are responsible and leveled, and we monitored that on a weekly basis, we would be so much better off. Number 6, if we started to involve design assist trade partners and leverage their wisdom in design and throughout in the last planner system, our industry production would skyrocket. Number 7, we've got to start allowing the builders who are going to build the project to plan the project. We can't plan it for them and hand it off. The people that build the project should plan it. It is immoral and unethical to hold somebody accountable for a project they did not plan. 8, we should start holding risk review meetings and fresh eyes meetings in pre-con before we ever start. 9, owners should reduce with the designers the amount of changes that happen after the 1/3, 2/3 points of the project. 10, we would start being responsible with phased design and only start building a phase of a project when the design is ready. Number 11, we would use prefabrication as a default and not as a plan B. Number 12, we would take care of workers by providing nice bathrooms, nice lunch areas, and respectful environments. Number 13, we would quadruple the amount of training we provide as companies in construction. Number 14, we would have leadership teams get out of their ivory castles and get close to the work and do job walks and start listening to the experts doing the work. Number 15, and this is a big one, we should bring back and standardize the role of field engineer, which will train future builders and start to develop a larger pool of builders for our industry. Number 16, we would remove CPM as the main scheduling method in the industry, and we would start using tried and true proven methods like critical chain, TAC planning, last planner, and Scrum. Number 17, we would hire for and encourage diversity throughout construction and make it a welcoming environment for women and for minorities. And number 18, we would stop siloing and holding and stealing information, and we would share as an industry so we could constantly learn from each other. So this is really what we should do to benefit the industry, and all of these things would really make a huge difference. So there's a huge difference between attempting to tank the project and get into a fight and doing it well. If we're going to start doing it well, we have to follow the pattern. And so I'm going to share with you this list that I've just shared with you in a beautiful Canva graphic. I'm going to share with you the list for why projects fail and the fun that we had together. And I want you to know that if you ever need help, we at Elevate and Lean Tech can help you recover your project and get it back on track. So I just want you to know the money that you would spend for consulting or recovery, that doesn't cost you money, it saves you money, it makes you money. What would you rather do? Spend $30,000 on a consulting engagement or spend $500,000 on tanking your project? The choice is yours. There's a way to run projects right, and there's a way to fail them. I hope you've enjoyed this how-to on how to tank your project. On we go.